guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. So earlier today, it's probably almost 2 hours ago now, we got a tweet from iSeriously, who obviously is very well known for tweeting out leaks or spoilers or whatever you want to call it, for things that are going to be coming up in Dokkan. Usually it's a GIF of a character who's going to be coming up next, but in this instance we have the image. If I click to open the full image, it's too big for this particular frame, but as you can probably guess, it is the Ultimate Red Zone logo. So this was tweeted out, just this by itself, with no other information or anything, but should be pretty obvious that this is a hint that the upcoming celebration, that of course I'm sure everyone is hyped for, both Global and JP, because it's the same time celebration for the Dragon Ball superhero stuff with Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo. So assumingly this means that this celebration is going to have a set of Red Zone stages. So funnily enough, I was actually talking about this with Minato earlier today. I know he's done a video. I haven't had a chance to watch it because I've been at work, so I've essentially rushed home to record this straight away. So it's a little bit late, but I thought I'd get that information out there for anyone that hasn't seen it. So we were talking about this earlier today, about the potential of there being a lot more Red Zone stages coming out with big celebrations, because now that we've had this one right here, which is the Heroes Red Zone. Now obviously this one is slightly different because it was a temporary Red Zone that was only available during the Heroes celebration. But the key thing to note about it is that there were only 3 stages, which means that essentially we're not tied down to, when Wicked Bloodline came out with 5 stages, that kind of already set the scene that we do not have to have 7 stages with every Red Zone, because obviously Movie Bosses and GT Bosses came out for the anniversary, both had 7 stages, and so a lot of people were coming up with ideas, making their own concepts and stuff like that of what could we get for the next Red Zone, and a lot of people tried to fit those concepts around something that would be able to have 7 stages. A lot like back in the day when we got the the Legendary Goku event, then the Legendary Vegeta event, the GT one. People would speculate around which character would get another one of these events, but they would always try and keep to the same format of it having the specific amount of stages. And obviously some characters that don't have enough forms, people would just kind of dismiss as not being able to get one of those events. Well, obviously now we know that we can get a Red Zone that literally only has 3 stages, because there are a lot of options available. I've seen a lot of people suggesting that the Red Zone could literally just be Dragon Ball Super in general. So it could start off with a Beerus stage, then we could have a hit stage for the Universe 6 tournament, we'd have Goku Black and Zamasu, just basically everything covering superhero. I've seen a lot of interesting ideas, but the thing that Minato and I were talking about earlier today is obviously making one that is specific to the Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, and then that would be something similar to the Heroes selection of stages, because obviously they're not going to be able to make 7 stages, probably not even 5, unless they throw in a Cell Max one. Because the way that I thought about it, and again this is what we discussed earlier today, is I figured if we were going to do a little mini Red Zone like this where it's maybe 3 or 4 stages, I figure we would start off, we'd essentially follow the plot of the movie, right? So we would start off, level 1 would be against the Gammas, so you would start off with stage 1 being against Gamma 2, because obviously he is the first one that fights. He fights Piccolo very briefly at the beginning, and then we would go into Gamma 1, and then kind of similar to the Frieza and King Cold, even though they don't have 2 stages before you get to them, the final stage could be both of them together, which I think would be pretty cool, following along, again, the events of the movie, mixing it up a little bit, because, we've already had a Red Zone stage now with that King Cold and Mecha Frieza, where you do fight multiple bosses at the end, but obviously they have 1 stage before them where you fight a bunch of weak minions, whereas obviously this one could have Gamma 2, then Gamma 1, have them be at least a reasonable difficulty, and then obviously the 2 of them together as the final boss. Then for the second level, we could have a Piccolo themed one. So obviously I brought this one up here just because it's a movie Heroes Piccolo. I figure we would start off with base Piccolo as the first phase, then the second phase. It would actually be kind of funny. I hope they do that as a free-to-play unit, but it would be kind of funny if they snuck in an extra stage with the Red Ribbon Army uniform disguise Piccolo. I personally think that would be a really cool free-to-play unit to get along with this event. So it'd be kind of funny if that was the second phase. He could be like really easy because he obviously doesn't really do anything. But probably wouldn't be incorporated, right? We would go from normal Piccolo to potential Unleashed Piccolo, and then obviously Orange Piccolo as the final stage. In fact, he could even have Giant Orange Piccolo as the final stage. He could be a 4-stage fight. Now, obviously, that means they would have to create an asset for Giant Orange Piccolo, which at this point we don't know. I'm assuming the LR is not going to have that, right? A giant form transformation, but he may well have one, right? Cell transforms a bunch of times, AGL Cell, and then has a giant form transformation. So it's very possible that the LR Piccolo, once he's transformed into Orange Piccolo, could have the giant form as well. So that would actually be pretty cool. Base Piccolo, potential Unleashed, Orange, and then Giant Orange as the 4 phases. But he doesn't even necessarily have to have the giant one, right? The orange one could be the final boss. And then stage 3 would, of course, be Gohan. So we take this guy here, the movie version of base Gohan. Now, a lot of people, we've all been wondering what's going to happen with this unit. I feel like he's going to awaken into Super Saiyan Gohan. Hopefully, still with the glasses. I think that design's cool. Whether he awakens into a TUR and gets an Easy A, or he awakens into an LR and potentially even still gets an Easy A, who knows. I think he's probably going to awaken into Super Saiyan rather than Ultimate Gohan. So that, of course, would then have the asset for this particular movie version as a Super Saiyan. So that would be the second phase, Super Saiyan Gohan. And then, of course, stage 3 would be Ultimate Gohan, and stage 4 would be Beast Gohan. And Beast Gohan, definitely you could imagine as a Red Zone boss, could have a similar mechanic to Omega Shenron, where he has a super attack that essentially just does an absolutely insane amount of damage. And obviously just takes you out unless you dodge or counter or have a unit that can negate. A lot of that is often up to RNG. But obviously people find Omega quite easy because his super attack is always in the same place. But I think that would be pretty fitting for like a Beast Gohan boss fight, where he just has the special beam cannon as one like big one-shot super attack at the end. So that'd be pretty cool. And then obviously, like I said, it doesn't have to be 3 stages just because the Heroes one is. We obviously could have a 4th stage with Cell Max. I don't know, would Cell Max or Beast Gohan be the last one? Let me know down below, because obviously Beast Gohan defeats Cell Max at the end, so would it make more sense for him to be the last boss? I guess it probably would if he was going to be one of the bosses, right? But let me know what you guys think. But I don't know, with the Cell Max event being a thing, another thing that we've kind of speculated about, and again, it's something Minato and I chatted about earlier, is whether or not they're going to add a second stage to the Cell Max event. But even if they don't, obviously he has his own boss event. So does that mean he wouldn't be included in the Red Zone stages? That's obviously up to them to decide. Because, I mean, Cooler obviously has a Red Zone stage in Movie Bosses and then has a stage in Wicked Bloodline. Obviously, well, he has multiple ones, but Final Form Cooler specifically is in Movie Bosses Red Zone and Wicked Bloodline Red Zone. So obviously it's not impossible to have 2 different stages in different events for the same like big boss character. So I could imagine it being him getting one. The only problem I think with Cell Max having a Red Zone stage is obviously he doesn't have any other forms, right? Like his actual event, it's just the same enemy with the same super attack. He's just 3 different typings, and the second phase has an AoE. So I don't know if he's really a character that's in fitting with having a Red Zone stage, because he doesn't really have any other forms. So let me know what you guys think down below. I don't think it's very likely that Cell Max would get one for all of those reasons, but I could quite easily see a Dragon Ball Super superhero movie themed Red Zone that has 3 stages, and it'll be a nice little bonus to the celebration. Hopefully not a temporary one like the Heroes one. I really wish they hadn't done that. Just because more events to play is always a lot of fun. Although, of course, by being limited in the time that it was around, the Heroes one had unlimited attempts per day, which is obviously much better than the normal 3 attempts per day. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Do you think it's going to be solely revolving around the movie, or do you think it's going to cover all of Dragon Ball Super? Could it be something completely different? I mean, the overall theme of the movie is obviously like bond of master and student and bond of parent and child, so that could be themed into it somehow. It could be movie Heroes related, which would be kind of interesting, I guess. because it's coming alongside the release of Gohan and Orange Piccolo, so we could have stages for like the gods, you know, different movie characters. I think it'd be quite interesting. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.